Well, hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for hanging out with me again today, and well, this is Hot Mess Wednesday. So, things did not quite go to plan this week, and what I had planned isn't quite finished. But we are starting the Nissan R91CP. Not going to get it done, just a heads up. So, basically, in this video, we're going to go through and we're going to get the sliding chassis done. I have not had time to mount the tires to the wheels. These are the foam tires that you have to double side tape to the wheels, and the wheels need to be painted. Well, they don't have to be. It's easier to paint them before you do this, and I still need to put another coat of paint on the wheels. So hence why the wheels and tires are not here. Now, I probably would have been further along, but I ordered a cool 15 kilogram Hobby Park servo. I've had a few of these different, kgs and all that stuff. They're, pretty much the same. I got this. You don't need a low profile for this car. You can run a very standard servo in there. I just wanted something with a little bit more speed, and it just so happens that most of the low profile are, engineered, built, made to provide more speed than torque. So that's why I went with this guy. Unfortunately, this was delivered yesterday, and I waited all day for it, and it was DOA. Didn't work at all. So had to put in a request with Amazon, have them send out another one. I've got to take this and drop it off as a return. But anyway, that kind of derailed most of the thing yesterday. So we did not get but so far, but what we're going to do is get everything laid out on the bench. I will go through the build process to get us up to the sliding chassis, and I'll bring it back and we'll talk about it real quick. Some tips and tricks for you guys that I figured out along the way. It's not a difficult chassis, but there are a few things. There's especially one thing you need to look forward or prevent while you're doing this. So I'll be back in just a minute. You guys enjoy kind of the quick build montage. Alright guys, so here is the sliding chassis. Now, unfortunately, like I said, no wheels and tires on it yet. Now, this does have the stock torque tune motor that came with it, and the stock yellow CVA in there. Perfectly fine for these cars, and actually gets them up and moving pretty quickly. Now, here is the new servo that has been installed. Now, this works just fine. It's nice and quick and goes end to end faster than, I probably need to be doing with my driving skill. But I have it, and now it's actually running, so I'm happy. Overall, the build goes very, very, very well. There's not any real gotcha moments or anything like that. Obviously, anytime you're building a ball diff, take your time, make sure you're not losing, scattering balls all over the place, and just doing your due diligence to make sure everything is in there. Make sure your little spring washers are oriented in the correct direction, so they're not both laying against each other. They're either pushing out, whatever. I think basically they go like this. So each cone section is pushing against it. That way there's some spring there. But when you put it on a car, it's not until you get the motor and everything kind of mounted to where you kind of really get a touchy feel for it. You can adjust it some, but you kind of have a limited feel for it until everything is mounted. Now, what I do suggest is, pre-break it in. So first, I had my AA battery test. Literally have everything in here. Take your motor wires, positive, negative, put it on here, and just listen to it. Now, my spur gear has a bit of run out to it. So it was wibbly wobbling. Now, I was able to kind of loosen everything off and move things around and get it adjusted better. Still has a touch of run out, but it's not bad. So then I was like, okay, I powered it with the receiver and slowly was pulling the trigger. And I basically would hold the one wheel and for, a second or so. And I'm not flooring it. I don't want to do this full throttle, but just run it, 8th throttle maybe, just so it's going, and then hold to one side, and you'll kind of hear it go under load, and it starts spinning this side a lot faster, and then just let it go. And then keep doing it, let it run for a moment, and then do the other side, and then let it run for a few minutes, and I just do that a few times just to see how loose it does get. Now, it's not going to be just like running it to where you still may need to adjust it, but you kind of have a feel for it and, see how it's doing. My tip to you: test it with your AA battery. It's going to go really, really slow. Then, the first thing you want to do before you put power to this is you want to cover this. Use your hand, cut out a solo cup and set over top of it, something. But I will tell you from experience, when you hook this up to, I was just using the little 2S pack to test, and you hammer the throttle one time, you clear out any excess grease that you put into that diff. And where that grease goes, well, it goes in a straight radial pattern out from that spur gear. So I had a big stripe across the bench, I had a stripe across the chassis, and I had a stripe across my glasses. Cleaning glasses is annoying, but cleaning kind of silicone diff grease off of your glasses, that's messy. So before you do the little break-in procedure or anything like that, literally hook it up to the car, make sure it's running smooth with your little AA battery if you want, hook it up to power, cover this up, don't put your hand on it, just cover it up and blip it full throttle. Just hold it there for, 10-15 seconds. Let go, clean up your hand, clean up your bench, do all the cleanup, and then you can fiddle around with it because all of that excess grease is going to be flung off at that point. Unfortunate, funny little lesson I learned that I figure I would pass on to you guys, so you're not sitting there going, never clean your glasses for 15 minutes trying to get silicone oil off of them. And I've still got little speckles all in the chassis here that, I can rub away, but, the whole, like I said, there was a good 6-inch long stripe of grease on the bench, and like I said, all over the place. So, yeah, helpful tip. But I will get the rest of the painting done. I've got to do the interior, get that painted, finish painting the wheels, get the tires mounted to the wheels, and then once I get all that done, focus on getting the body cut out and painted. So kind of my thought process with this was get this built onto as a roller. Then I can get the body cut out and stuff. And depending on, you know, the humidity and my time, all that stuff, I can start working on painting the body a little bit here and there. And then I can bring over the Globetrotter and start building the chassis and all that stuff of the Globetrotter, work on painting that, kind of going back and forth. And then once I have that painted, I can come back, finish this. Then I can work on painting the Globetrotter parts, all that. That's, you know, what's going on up here. Whether or not all that happens the way I want it to, who knows. Anyway, guys, I wish I had a little bit more to show you, but hopefully I at least will help you get not covered in grease during your build. So everybody out there, as always, you guys be happy, be healthy, be safe. I will catch you guys on the next one, and everybody have a great week. See you.